Hello, everybody. It's Dark Side Phil. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill. Stupid fucking trolls, man. I just want to chill. I rock back and forth on the X and Y axis. Tip me so I could catch up on that.
Welcome to the Daily Wrap for Saturday, the 18th of June, 2022. Basically, just turning over the halfway point of this extended streaming week for me because I'm actually still going to be streaming Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of this week. Okay? So what were we up to today? Well, first of all, on the pre-stream podcast, after having had time to really let it settle in and let me think about it for a while, and also looking at the performance over time on YouTube, I give my full thoughts and impressions about doing live React events in the future. Now, I split that up into two categories. Reacting to, say, things that people pick, like a documentary or something about me, or maybe even doing some other kind of a special event, versus live reacting to one of these game presentations on the internet. I definitely feel like there's different feelings depending on the situation. All right, and I went into detail about it on the pre-stream. I think some people disagreed. Some people thought that made sense. I would say watch it yourself and let me know what you think. Leave some comments. So far, there really have been little to no comments on the pre-stream from today. So I'd love to hear your opinions on what you thought about that segment where I talked about live react stuff. Because it's going to help me make determinations for the future of the kind of stuff that we want to do here on the channel. Okay. So there was that. There was some Q&A. There was some shout outs and fun stuff. And then to the mainstream, we got to my second consecutive session of PlayStation Plus Premium exploration. Today, we did a little bit different. Yesterday, we did a lot of classic stuff. Today, we tested a good amount of stuff streaming on PlayStation Plus, including The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, Fear, the original game in that series, the horror first-person shooter, as well as Red Dead Redemption. And then later on, we tried out MotorStorm Apocalypse. Okay? All I will say is that it was about a 50-50 split of what was good and what was not so good. It was a little shocking how bad certain games perform. Okay? And then for an hour, we went through and looked at all the games listing for both PlayStation 4 and 5. Because up to that point, I'd basically only been focusing on the classic stuff and the PS3 stuff, and I hadn't really looked at the modern stuff that was available. So we went through and got a good idea of the games available. And then, to end the stream for about a half an hour, we played Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, because Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is under game trial, which is another feature of PlayStation Plus Premium. Okay? So, by the time we were done with today's stream, I feel we've sufficiently tested this service to know exactly what it is. Honestly, there's some good stuff on there that I think I will do playthroughs of either in the near future or, long term when we have time to actually fit them into my content. I'm happy that the service is as good as it is. It's actually much better than I expected. I thought that it was going to suck ass every time we tried to stream a game. That's not the case at all. And I was actually pleasantly surprised. Like, for example, I played MotorStorm Apocalypse. Now, here's a game I haven't played for 11 years, right? But the original playthrough is legendary for the amount that I crashed and raged. I have 2 remixes, not one, but 2 of the remixes that play on my streams are from that game. It works fine. In fact, I would say it works better than some other games that we play. I was like, a racing game can hold up live streamed? Yes. I was completely blown away. So, give it a look. Thank you for watching all the coverage of PlayStation Plus Premium over the last week. I hope you enjoyed it and answered a lot of your questions about the service. And now, it's time for us to pick some games to play, which we already did, which I'll talk about in a moment. The late stream tonight was Skyrim After Hours, Skyrim After Hours is what we call it now. Continuing on with the Dawnguard DLC. And I'm pleased to say we made tons and tons of progress. Basically found out about the next portion of the DLC where you have to go after Oriel's bow, which leads you to a long series of exploration to a giant cave, which then lets you run into a guy who sends you on basically a wild goose chase to go to these fountains and fill them with basins with water and stuff. And we get a good tear through that. Definitely the next time we play it on Monday night, we're beating this DLC and moving on to the end game of actual Skyrim, which means likely within 1 to 1.5, maybe 2 weeks tops, we're beating this game. We're probably beating Skyrim by the end of June, which would be great. I know some people have been waiting fervently for me to beat this game because, number one, they're tired of it, but also they want to see me do other games of that style, like RPG style. And I told everyone I'm not doing another RPG till we finish Skyrim. Well, it's been 6 months. We can finally wrap up Skyrim, okay? So, overall today, vibes were good. positivity, have fun, good engagement. However, couple caveats to that, all right? First of all, today was the expiration of about 100 gifted memberships on DSP Gaming, okay? This was to be expected. 1 month ago, I got gifted memberships on DSP Gaming, and people came and rallied on the channel, and all of a sudden, I got like over 100 gifted memberships within like 2 days. So the channel went whoop. Well, guess what? The month is up, and today it went ooh. So as of now, I think I have about 500 memberships. This morning, I had 634, which is the most I ever had. This is to be expected. It's fine. As I said, over on Twitch, we did the same thing with gifted subs. Usually what happens is some people do decide to continue those memberships or subs or whatever they are, and that leads to organic growth of the channel. And undoubtedly, we're going to have some people who are going to come into the channel and feel generous again and gift again when things pick up with game releases and the like. So I'm not nervous in the least. But the trolls, of course, coming to the stream all day. Can you update the total? Can you update the total? Can you update the total? What's the total? They went down. Can you update the total? No, stupid. I don't care. There's no point. The goals are hit for the month. It literally doesn't matter if we drop to 0 members right now. We're good for the month. People are just being fucking stupid because they like to troll. They think because something that I've told you guys was going to happen for weeks now is happening, that it's bad. It's not. It's fine. It's happened before. It's not the end of the channel. Things are going to come back. No problem at all. But they're negative dickheads. Any way they can spin anything in a negative way, they got to try, right? Now, the other thing that sadly was unfortunate, at least for the second half, the first stream was pretty good. We had a lot of super chats, good amount of members joining or renewing, and tips were all right. I think we made like $65 tips or something like that. No complaints. It's fine. Late stream was terrible for support. We had 0 members. We had probably $5 in super chats, and we had $16 in tips. No exaggeration, if I went and was working at like a part-time job somewhere, I actually would have made more than streaming Skyrim tonight. But I'm not complaining, and here's why. 2 nights ago when I streamed Skyrim, we hit all the goals. We exceeded the goals, all right? So this is what I mean when people say, oh, why are you still playing Skyrim after 6 months? Hasn't that game died in support? Some nights, yes, and then other nights, no. It's shocking the amount of support the game gets. It really depends on the night, I feel. You know, maybe because 2 nights ago we returned to night streams, people were like, oh, yes, it's back in the rotation regularly. They were celebrating. I don't know. Who knows, right? But I'm not going to sit here, and I'm not going to complain, and I'm not going to say the sky is falling. This is what the trolls want. I'm just going to say, it is what it is. I still had a great time today. I hope that you guys did too. Now, with 3 more streaming days this week, I would hope that we can recover from that. I would hope that maybe tomorrow we could stage a comeback, have some more support, way more than today, hopefully, because that second stream was pretty dead for support. You know, here's what we're doing. Since you guys obviously would want to know, tomorrow is my second and final run in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I'm going to play as Casey Jones, the character that I unlocked by beating the campaign the first time, and I'm going to play online co-op. If I can play at a harder difficulty, I will. The problem is with the online co-op, you don't control it. You have to try to like find lobbies, and if I can't join a game that's a harder difficulty, or if I can't start a lobby and have enough people join at a harder difficulty, it's not going to happen. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but this will be my second and final run in the game. And then that's it. I mean, there's really not much to the game. It's the same game twice, but I do want to see how Casey Jones plays and see how different it is to team up with other people. I don't know. Are there cooperative attacks? I have no idea. I guess we'll find out. Okay? So that's the main stream tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I'm doing something directly that you guys asked for based off of my PlayStation Plus premium exploration over the last week. On Sunday night, I am starting up an actual playthrough of Toy Story 2. We're actually going to continue from the gameplay that I started yesterday. I did about an hour of gameplay the first level. So we're going to go into level 2 and continue on with the game tomorrow night as a full playthrough here on DSP Gaming. So many people contacted me and say, man, I played that game back in the day. That's a nostalgic game. I'm very excited to actually see you play it. I'm going to do it. I think it's going to be a fun time. Even as outdated as it is, you know, the camera's, you know, really archaic and the double jumping and everything's a little wonky. It's all good. Let's play an old platformer that you guys loved. I've never played before. Let's experience it together. I love the Toy Story movie, so I think it's going to be good. Okay? So that's tomorrow, Sunday. Now, Monday, I'm doing something completely different. I'm going to get the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. I'm going to start playing classic Castlevania games, which are incredibly challenging. If you wanted to see me rage at repeated deaths and things, you'll want to check out this collection. It's going to be funny to watch me die a million times, but at the same time, I feel it's going to be rewarding because I never beat those games before, and the soundtrack of those games is so good. I love the soundtrack of Castlevania. So, it's going to be an awesome time starting on Monday. Okay, Monday night, Skyrim After Hours, finishing the Dawnguard DLC and heading into the end game of the game. Tuesday, more Castlevania Classic, and then Tuesday night, another stream of Toy Story 2. Okay, I'm off from streaming on Wednesday. Later this week, we got 2 new releases. Sonic Origins comes out on Thursday. The Capcom Fighting Collection comes out on Friday. So we got all new stuff to tackle this weekend. We'll balance that in with the other retro stuff I'm doing. It's going to be a great time, man. So thank you for a great streaming day today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the videos on demand if you haven't seen them yet. Hopefully tomorrow we can rally a little bit more support because today was on the slower side, but it's certainly not the end of the world and I'm not going to freak out about it. Let's have a good time. 3 more streaming days this week, all right, guys? Thank you so very much. Have a good night. I'll see you in the morning. Peace out.